What's going on, guys? Hopefully you're all doing well. UFC 250 is in the books. Cody Garbrandt with an absolutely vicious knockout over Raphael Assuncao, announcing his comeback. An insane knockout, and what a comeback for Cody Garbrandt. Coming off three-fight losing streak against TJ Dillashaw twice, someone he absolutely despises. We saw the animosity going into it, and then he got finished in both of those fights. He said something in the post-fight press conference. I was like, rah, this shit is deep. Talking about how TJ's kid's gonna have to look up to his dad, knowing that he's a cheater, and he's gonna have to live with it for the rest of his life. He still wants that fight, wants that one back, and then losing to Pedro Munoz. But he come back this weekend, showed composure, showed technical ability, which has never ever been doubted with Cody Garbrandt. Showed footwork, patience, and absolutely reminded us of his knockout power, insane knockout power. But the one thing with Cody that we've all known, his technical ability, he's got fast hands, super fast, powerful, very good boxing, good in the scrambles and whatnot. His technical ability has never been in question. It's always been his fight IQ and his abilities, him throwing away his fights, losing his composure in fights and throwing them away and getting knocked out. He showed very good composure in this one. Leaping in and out with that straight right in, slip to the left, he was gone. He showed good leg kicks as well, causing Assuncao to change stances, busting at that lead leg, Assuncao having to fight in southpaw. He let Assuncao bring the fight to him. He didn't let Assuncao fight his fight, where Assuncao usually lets you come and then he catches you with his counters. He forced Assuncao to push him back, which was excellent. Come to the back of the cage, slip, boom! Fantastic knockout, announcing his return at the top level of the bantamweight division now. After beating number 5, what is next? I remember even when I was watching UFC 250, in my head, obviously, seeing the Sugar Show knock out Eddie Wineland, and then see Cody Garbrandt knock out Raphael Assuncao, I was like, you know what? That would be a good matchup, Sean O'Malley versus Cody Garbrandt. But again, what does Cody have to gain from that? Absolutely nothing. I don't think that fight's going to happen anytime soon. It shouldn't. Because he's got nothing to gain. Sean O'Malley, he's going to burst into the rankings now, the top 15. He's probably going to fight someone ranked between 7 and 15. There's a few matchups, a few people already tied. Aljamain Sterling's the #1 contender. Peter Yan's facing Jose Aldo for the title. Pedro Munoz versus Frankie Edgar. So it doesn't leave Cody Garbrandt with a lot of options aside from Corey Sandhagen, who's just coming off a loss to Aljamain Sterling. Should be a quick turnover because he didn't really get hurt. He just got choked out. So he can return, fight Cody Garbrandt. That'll be another #1 contender fight. But again, does Cody want to fight someone coming off a loss? And a very impressive victory from Aljamain Sterling against Corey Sandhagen, submitting him really quickly. Will he want to take that fight? Simple answers, no. The O'Malley fight, no, off the cards. And to me, it leaves only one person, and that's Marlon Moraes. Moraes, yes, he won the Aldo fight. And I know a lot of us thought he didn't win the fight. I thought Aldo stole the last 2 rounds, but the judges didn't see it that way. So yes, he's coming off a victory, yes, with an asterisk next to it, hence why it's been given to Jose Aldo. They're both in the same camp, but obviously they've got the same manager as well in Ali Abdelaziz. Ali's shown he has no problem pitting his own fighters together, as he did with Moraes and Cejudo for the title. But then you have the issue of Mark Henry being the coach for both of these guys. Now, with that, I think Cody's a bit fortunate that they don't fall under the same umbrella entirely when it comes to Mark Henry. And Cody can go back to Team Alpha Male, train there, and maybe get a few pointers from Mark Henry here and there. Coaches have had to do this in the past, train 2 fighters that are in the same gym. It's happened before, and I don't think it will be an issue. Marlon Moraes, perennial top contender, former World Series of Fighting champion, knockout power. He's got the ability to finish. We saw it in the Aldo fight. Within the first few seconds, that left high kick off the lead leg, he rung Aldo's bell. Seen him knock out Aljamain Sterling. We saw him give Henry Cejudo real trouble in that in his title fight, but eventually succumbed to the pressure. For Cody, it's a very winnable fight. I'm not saying he's going to win, but it's a very winnable fight. The blueprint on how to disrupt Moraes' game is out there. It's been, tried and tested. Henry Cejudo used it to full effect. We put the pressure on him through combinations. The lead right from Cejudo and Aldo in both of their fights, the straight right lead right, straight right, went through a couple of times. We saw Cody use that against Assuncao a few times as well. I think he can use that. That's another one of the techniques he could use against Moraes, pushing him back, force Moraes to engage and counter with his boxing. He's going to have to be very careful with the leg kicks from Moraes. Cody's got good leg kicks of his own as well, but Moraes' ones, boy. You look at the Cejudo fight. You know, he showed very good technique. He's very well rounded, good everywhere, on the ground, on the feet. But in my opinion, the fight will stay standing. I think Cody has enough to stop the fight going to the ground. And I think it's a very winnable fight if he can use smart pressure, footwork, patience, not get caught into a firefight. Moraes, obviously, he does not mind a brawl. He does not mind one. But I think for Cody, yes, the issues with his chin and whatnot, it wouldn't be a smart move, but it's a very, very winnable fight. And I think that is the next match to make for the number one contender, well, after Aljamain Sterling. So Cody Garbrandt versus Marlon Moraes, they can sort out the camp issue. They have the same manager. Shouldn't be too hard to sort out the fight. A very winnable fight for Cody Garbrandt. A very, very tough fight, but it is what it is. You've got to fight the top guys in the division to become number one contender to fight for the title. So it makes perfect sense. He's not going down. The only way is up. He's not going to fight Corey Sandhagen. He's just knocked out Raphael Assuncao. Peter Yan and Jose Aldo are fighting for the title. Aljamain Sterling is number one in line. Let him put himself at number two with the victory over Marlon Moraes. Would be an excellent fight. Possibly Fight Island in a couple of months. And we'll see how, possibly also on the same card as Peter Yan and Jose Aldo. Would be a fantastic fight, and I can't wait. We'll see what the UFC does. Obviously, let me know who you guys think he should fight as well. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Take care, everyone.